Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is episode 11. As usual, we are your hosts.
We are hosts, yes.
We are hosting.
Yes.
My name's Nate.
I'm Dimitri. Hello, Michael. How are you?
And today we will be talking about the Gold Coast United matches and the QAS matches. No games to preview because we've got the Easter weekend, which is all very, very exciting. But we've obviously got the two games to review, which is fantastic.
Fantastic indeed.
Before we get too far into it, make sure that you're following us on our Instagram, our YouTube, and our Spotify. So that's the Olympic FC_Ultras and the Olympic Ultras podcast on Spotify. Make sure you share it around, tell your friends and everything like that. Make sure you're commenting, liking, subscribing. Join the conversation, get more people involved. It's always fantastic to see the comments.
Please do. It's great.
Yeah.
Really nothing from you all.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, so the first match we're going to talk about is the Gold Coast United match. This was round 8. This ended up being a 1-1 draw with Danica Oric Beach scoring in the 52nd minute, opening for Gold Coast United, with Tia scoring a penalty about 4 minutes later. This was a frustrating game.
It was.
This is becoming a little bit of our season, unfortunately, where it was really 2 points dropped.
It was. I got to say, it was 2-point drops. The amount of attack that we pummeled on that Gold Coast defence.
Yeah.
And the keeper especially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are occasions where strikers or players will hit a ball directly to the keeper, but not for an entire second half.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone uses to follow results, but there's a app that I use called SofaScore, and they're actually really, really good at, like, even this local level. They'll do an analysis of the video and they'll give ratings. Their keeper got like a 9.8 because they saved something ridiculous apart from one shot.
Look, strikers do that. I've seen the best in the world hit a keeper every time.
Yeah.
I've seen the best in the world go up for a great header and hit the bar.
Yeah.
Or no direction. So it happens. But, oh man, we were bloody unlucky, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. We controlled so much of that match.
Yep.
It was just absolutely ridiculous. And to go down in that match just felt a little heartbreaking because you're like, oh, here we go. We bounced back very quickly, don't get me wrong.
We did not deserve to lose that game. And I don't think we deserve to draw it. I think we deserve to win it.
I think we deserve to win it. I think on the balance of the play, I mean, again, we only scored the one goal, but on the balance of the play, 100% that was 3 points to Olympic.
For sure. Absolutely.
Gold Coast and I got very, very lucky out of that.
They were lucky out of that.
But I think we just need to find our creativity again. Like last year in the FQPL one, again, very different team, very different competition. We were free flowing. We were going crazy. We were scoring goals for fun. We couldn't stop scoring in some games.
And the difference with the 2 seasons is the number of players who scored last season. It wasn't just 1 or 2.
No, that's true.
It was probably 8 or 9 players.
Yeah, we didn't have the top goal scorer or anything like that. Yeah,
it was crazy how many players scored.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Different league, you've got to have a stronger structure. You've got to have a very set structure, and maybe that's the reason why we're not scoring as many.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not playing as free flowing because you've really got to watch what you do in this league because they will punish you.
Yeah,
so
if you get caught out, if you
can be a good thing.
Yeah,
especially probably the first maybe third of the season. Then maybe loosen up and go, okay, we now have a measure. We know what we can do against team A, B, or C.
Yeah,
and then maybe go, okay, let's just tweak it for a little bit here.
Yeah,
and maybe it might start to flow.
Because jumping back to the FQPL one, we sort of had this. Well, our team was so good that if we conceded 1, I was like, okay.
Yeah. It wasn't a worry.
Yeah, it was like, no worries, we're going to score 3. Don't worry about it.
It was like that, wasn't
it? Whereas, in the NPL, they will punish you. You go 1 down, well, even in this game, we controlled all of it.
Yeah.
Went down first, and we only got a point out of it. They will punish you.
Of course they'll punish you.
If you slip up, you fall asleep that 1 second.
Yeah, it's a take-down prisoners league.
Yeah.
It really is.
I mean, and that's the top division. That's what you should be aiming for.
And every team doesn't give a toss who you are. I don't give a toss how many players you got, who you playing.
And what you did last year. That was last year.
But they don't give a rat's. They're just out there to kill you.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I suppose that's their job.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. It's not a league where, you should be taking any prisoners and they should be going for it at all times.
Yeah.
But
And we've noticed the massive differences of some of the opposition. They are some good sides, aren't they?
They are. They are some very good
really
sides.
good
Even
sides
some of the ones that, a little bit lower on the ladder.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gold Coast is a mid-table team. They really took it to us as well. Like, we controlled the match and we should have got there, but they managed to sneak a point out of that at Goodwin Park. So,
but aren't we holding our own?
We are holding our own. We've still got one of the best defenses in the league.
I'm so proud of the way the girls perform, and we are holding our own. And as I think we mentioned last week, these teams got to go in the second phase of the season. They're going to go, crap.
No one's going to want to play Olympic
because they just gave us trouble after trouble after trouble.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and I think that that should have, or probably would have been goal one, is to make sure that no one wants to play Olympic.
Correct.
Absolutely. Just make sure that everyone sort of comes to Goodwin Park, or if we go there, they go,
yeah,
this is going to be a tough night.
We've looked at it too. You look at the opening pictures and people go, win, 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 win.
Even we do it.
We do it as well.
Yeah.
They're not going to go, oh, Olympic.
Could go either way, that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that result.
Yeah.
South, we beat South.
Yeah.
Lions played East, we can beat that. Lions played Olympic. Oh. And that's what it's going to get like.
Yeah, exactly right. And, at the start of the season, we probably had that benefit of Olympic. No worries.
Yeah.
But now, I think we've played everyone after the QAS. I think we've played everyone at least once now. Yeah. We're in that first third of the season. Everyone's kind of aware of what we are and what we can do, or what we are looking like we're going to do.
We're capable of.
And what we're capable of. I think there is a large portion of that, whereas people are going to go, oh, I don't want to play them.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough night. And Gold Coast United was another fantastic example. They were a little bit of a rivalry in regards to where we want to finish on the table.
Correct. I think that 5th, 6th will be battle between them and us.
Yeah, exactly right. And again, controlled so much of that match.
Amazing.
So much of that match.
I'd love to see the stats in regards to possession.
Yeah, me too.
It must be 80, not probably 80-20, but at least probably 65-35 at least.
Yeah, we had so much of that game.
Possession doesn't win games.
Exactly right. Goals do. And you can do everything you want, and you can have the best defense in the league, but if you're not going down the other end and putting it away.
I've seen some EPL teams with possession stats that blow your mind and lose 1-0.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Who was your player of this match?
It was a hard one.
It was.
Really hard.
Because everyone was firing.
Everyone was firing. There was no one player that stood out amongst the others.
Yeah.
They really impressed me as a collective unit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was really happy to walk away going, God, they played well. So I really don't have, I'm sorry, everyone, I don't have a player. They were just all brilliant.
I thought long and hard, and I did manage to get a deadlock. And I don't think it's necessarily this person played better than everyone else. But I think it was like, God, we missed her. And that was Rio.
Yes.
Having Rio come back in and start starting games again, and you can just see what we were missing, the interplay, the fact that she just sort of gets into those niggly little challenges.
And why did she get fitter?
Yeah, exactly right. Like, she's still coming back into it.
She's only had one full start, I think.
Yeah. So to have her come back in and play those passes and create those chances all over again, have a little bit more creative outlet in the middle of the pitch. Not that we really had trouble with that with people like, with all the players that we do have, which are fantastic. It was just good to see Rio back and fit and firing.
And I think one of the benefits that Rio possesses is, we'll have a go at, but it's her height and her body.
Because she's so low to the ground.
Because she's so low to the ground, she has the ability to turn, but maintain beautiful balance.
Yeah.
And still hold the ball.
It's that center of gravity, and she's a little bit
like, I don't know if anyone knows Peter Crouch out there in the football world.
I have a feeling some of them
18'7".
Yeah.
He finds it harder to turn because of his height.
Yes.
But Rio has that ability to just tuck, hold ball, move, and just get away from players.
And again, that center of gravity, it's not necessarily a stoutness, but like just being able to hold the ball in a physical challenge and do that turn and get out of it.
She does it so well.
Absolutely fantastic to see her in the red and white again and just doing so well. And again, it's a creative outlet that we need. That's the thing we're really lacking at the moment.
Yeah, because she's able to lay passes off to our forward players, our winners. So that's what's important.
And unfortunately, Georgia didn't play this particular game. I think she had a hamstring problem.
Yeah, a bit of a niggle, yeah.
But I imagine Georgia would have loved lining up with Rio in this particular match because she was laying balls to runners the entire game. And and Tia's doing Tia things.
Yeah,
she's getting better and better.
My goodness, for such a young player who has so much talent like that, it's frightening where she'll end up.
Yeah,
in years to come. It's so good.
Yeah, she is. Still finding her feet. I think leading the line.
Sometimes take a little longer. Yeah.
But again,
that's okay. But there's nothing wrong with that.
She's doing so well.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, again,
you go to some of the bigger leagues in the world, and some players can take months.
Yeah.
To finally gel into that squad to what expects of them. You know?
100%.
I know that if I run this way, I can get a ball, and that takes time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, another game, probably maybe the second or third game in a row where we went, should have won that.
We have been so bleeding unlucky.
Yeah. But hard fought as always. And speaking of hard fought, we'll move into our second game, shall we, in our second half. All right, so in the second half, we are looking at Olympic playing QAS.
QAS. What a shit.
Which we did come away with a 2-1 win. Didn't look exactly comfortable for a little bit in there.
No, they surprised me because I remember playing them last year over at Nudgee.
Yeah, Nudgee Recreational Reserve in the Queensland Cup.
They couldn't.
I think we did 5-1.
5-1. They couldn't turn on a tap back then. This was a whole different squad.
They were strong. They were physical. They were niggly.
They moved the ball well. They passed well. Number 10.
Yeah.
I think for QAS.
Yeah, had a great game.
Exceptional player. Exceptional.
Yeah.
But our girls had to really do double time. To keep them at bay.
Yeah, so we ended up going 1-0 up fairly early on in the 14th minute through Monica. In the 51st, Tia scored, starting to get that ball rolling for her, which is fantastic after a penalty against Gold Coast United. Immediately pegged back very shortly afterwards by a free kick.
Yeah, which
the free kick was bought.
Yeah, of course.
The free kick was bought and paid for. The shot itself, the free kick itself, incredible.
Oh, it should never have gone in.
Should never.
A ball along the ground should never have gone in.
Yeah.
But hey, that's football.
And look, and to find that spot.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet.
And again, it was number 10 who took it.
Yeah. From a neutral point of view. Absolutely incredible goal. For us, don't really think it was a penalty, to be perfectly honest with you. Not a penalty, sorry, a free kick.
I think probably, 7 out of every 10 decisions went against us was not a free kick.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team that just played for it every time.
I said at the match, I was like, I'd love to see the free kick to yellow card ratio, because while it doesn't tell the whole story,
for sure,
it does definitely sort of go, okay, well, is one team not getting those yellow cards towards the other? And because the fact that we ended up with 2 yellow cards, they end up with none, was just...
I know. And the referee on the lines are on the far side, Dumb and Dumber.
I've got to see if I can find a clip of this, and if I can, I'm 100% splicing this in here. So for YouTube viewers, if you're seeing this right now, honestly, one of the funniest moments.
It was one of the most inept refereeing performances I've ever witnessed.
There was a good 10 seconds. I think it was around the 73rd minute. So if I haven't managed to put it in, look it up. There's a good 10 seconds where the ball's gone out. The on-field referee is looking at the liner. They're both waiting for the other to make a decision. And then they both at the same time choose the opposite team.
Oh my goodness. Come on. Look, if you're going to give referees a go, make sure you've got quality ones.
I think the funniest thing that makes that, though, is that they're mic'd up. They can talk to each other.
They can talk to each other.
They're standing looking at each other being like, I don't know which way that went. We've got to give it to someone. Go, okay, we're giving it to QAS. But they didn't do that, apparently, because they chose.
It's just ridiculous. I just couldn't. I mean, there was a couple of young girls, about 11 in the crowd. I should have got them out and got the yellow jersey on and let it on the better job.
But yeah, look, very physical match. There was a good period of time there where we did really lose control of that match.
They pounded us. We were defending, and we could hardly get the ball into our attacking half.
Yeah.
They really gave it to us. And I was worried. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had this air of confidence about them, especially around the 60 so minute, because, again, they had all the ball. We had absolutely none of it. But they weren't in a rush. They were just taking their time. And I was like, oh, God. Like,
I know.
When a team's in a rush, you can kind of sit there and take advantage of that. And you can show there's a bit of desperation about that. When they're taking their time, there's confidence. There's morale. They know they're going to get there.
They know their game play.
And I'm sitting there going, oh, God. Like,
I know.
And, you never know which QAS you're going to get. But at the same time, they have been the league's whipping team for a long time now. So, to show up like that and play like they did really turned me around. I don't know if the team itself turned up with an expectation that this was going to be sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's shown a fair few players that maybe you shouldn't underestimate QAS.
I know. Captain Bimbo, their coach. I mean, man. Seriously.
But yeah, look.
I was talking to Tony about it. Tony was saying he had very similar opinions to us.
He's going to hate you for that.
I know, but hey.
Oh, you keep talking about it. We'll get him as a third person on the podcast.
We will. We'll have to get him invited. We have to get him invited and be part of the group one night. No, I love time and respect for Tony.
Look, me too. I love having a chat with
Very knowledgeable in his football. Yeah. Extremely well versed on how things work.
Well, look, in fairness, we've been very lucky to get to know the people that we have gotten to know over the time of doing this.
Yeah. And it was nice to catch up with Shane last night too.
Yes, yeah.
It was really good to catch up with Shane. I haven't chatted to Shane for a long time, so it was good to see him.
Yeah, so it's absolutely fantastic, and obviously Tony and Shane are just two of those people.
They're just lovely people.
They're just
really
lovely people. So good to chat to. But yeah, going back to the game, it was.
Yeah, it was a hard stopper.
Yeah,
I mean, so many moments I just went.
And it's probably one of the games that as well, quite opposite to what we were talking about the Gold Coast United match, where I kind of feel like coming out of that maybe we didn't deserve the 3 points there.
Oh, I think we did. I think we fought hard enough to get it. Yeah. That's my opinion.
That's fair. Yeah. And like I said, it's just, again, that's also my opinion. That it's like maybe, in my opinion, maybe we didn't quite do enough there. We were kind of lucky to get through it. Probably the first time I felt that way this season, to be perfectly honest. But look, when you can win playing terribly, you're doing well. You're doing very well, because it means that you're going to do absolutely amazing when you're playing well.
Absolutely.
And not to say that we were playing terribly, because we got stuck in. We matched the energy, matched the physicality in some areas, and we managed to get 2 goals on the board. And
I think the way, as we said earlier, I think the way that QS are structured and the way they slowly push the ball around, it made us not look like fools, but it made it hard for us to get hold of that ball, and
it was a different game.
Back foot on all the time.
Yeah. It was a different game.
It was a different game. It was a very different game.
And we were tired. I don't think we made that many changes from the Gold Coast United match.
No. So I thought it was good. We started with a very similar 11.
Yeah, a couple of days turnaround, so we were tired. It was a late kickoff. We can make all the excuses under the sun, but they had the exact same.
I thought the girls played great.
Yeah, no, they did.
I was really proud of them last night.
Speaking of player of the match,
to me, I went with Vicky.
Yep. Strong,
again,
as always.
Solid, powerful, decisive. Not many players got past her. And she has the ability to.
And when she does, she runs them down.
She does. I mean, she's crazy the way she runs after players, and she has the ability to actually do a slide tackle to perfection.
Yes. Yeah.
And she's so good at her judgment. I was really impressed with her last night.
Yeah, she's just got such a strong arm type mentality about her.
Yeah. And she's smart.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah. She's always going to be stronger than the opposition. No matter who the opposition is, she goes, I need to be stronger than you.
That's it. And last night she was great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think she went up to for a couple of corners during the course of that game, but they didn't really land.
Didn't quite get on the end of those.
I think one of the biggest problems in Australian football is they try and put the corner between the penalty spot and the goal line.
Yeah.
It's got to come back out.
Yeah, just a little bit further out
you've got to aim that penalty spot.
Yeah.
And let sometimes the wind takes it.
Yeah.
But it also allows a player to come in from the edge of the box to hit that ball.
So we also don't do so much of that movement. We all sort of stand in the box.
We all group, yeah.
The ball comes in, you jump for it. No one's really trying to create a bit of movement or trying to run onto the ball.
I've seen that a lot of years in Australian football. We just don't seem to teach it properly.
You know? At all levels.
And that's no fault of anybody. No. It's just obviously...
It's just how it is.
Specialist, set play coaches to take that, because people like Cam and Grossi can't remember bloody everything.
No, exactly right.
Plate remember with that as well.
Right. But yeah, no, you're very right there. And I think this is a really, really good match for us for when it was played and when it came.
Correct.
Because again, it gave us a very, very different match to what we've seen before. It was overly physical from what we've seen before, and then coming into a week off.
Yeah.
It means that we can sit back, we can reflect, we can review, we can look at it and go, okay, well, if we come across this again, how do we do it better? How do we get around this?
Yeah. This worked, this didn't.
Yes.
This worked, this didn't.
We could, as you just mentioned, Cam Grossi, they don't really have time to sit down and think.
Yeah, it's a lot happens in 90 minutes for them to analyse everything.
This weekend with that break, they can find time to sit down and break.
Even an opportunity to go through the first time we played, first game was against East.
Yeah.
So obviously after the Easter break,
the week after we're playing East again.
So it'd be good to go back and reflect on that game.
Yeah.
And see how we've gone from there to the QS game.
Yes.
And look at the way we've changed things.
Yeah.
But it could be a good thing this break.
Could be an absolutely fantastic thing for them. And funnily enough, our plans are exactly the same for next week's podcast.
Yeah.
So obviously next week's podcast, we won't have a game to talk about.
No.
Well, a game to review. We'll have a game to preview, which is the Eastern Suburbs game. But we will also spend half of that podcast talking about how we think the team has gone so far this season. We're a third of the way through through the league season. So we'll spend a bit of time talking about how we think we've gone, and and if you've got any questions for us,
please do.
Feel free to pop it in the chat. And even your own thoughts. More than happy to talk about that as well.
So read what your thoughts are.
Yeah. So that'll be next podcast. We'll go all through that. But yeah.
So let me ask you, your player of the match?
Right, we went straight past it. We went on a tangent. That's unlike us.
I know, right?
I've got to give it to Georgia Martell, the keeper. I think she kept us in that match. There was like I said, there was a large portion of that where we really kind of lost control. And even if it wasn't necessarily making a save, she was just so commanding in the back line that if the ball went to her, she knew what she wanted to do. If she could clear it, she could pass it out. She was just so confident in what she needed to do.
And that's a goalkeeper's armament.
Yeah.
To have that in there.
And I think she's got it in her toolbox. Yeah.
And if you have that verbal skill, other players know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have to run for the same ball.
Yeah.
They know exactly where they're going to be.
Yeah.
And she does that well.
Yeah. And the space, in my opinion, the space between the backs of the defender and the byline is hers to command.
That's right.
That is the goalkeeper's territory. Yeah. And she commands that so well. I think her positioning is absolutely fantastic. And this was a moment where we could have lost some real control of that match and easily conceded a second, but she kept us all calm. She kept us all going. So in my opinion, it was Georgia. But
it was good.
I do agree with you in regards to the whole team really dug in.
They did dug in,
and got us through this particular matchup, because it could have been an easy slip up, a banana peel sort of game.
Yeah. But it was good. I mean, Swaney come in off the subs bench, I think, in the second half.
Yeah. I think we made about 3 subs. Or Laney came in as well.
Laney came in, which was great.
Yeah. Helped steady the ship a little bit and give their defenders something else to think about, a bit of fresh legs and
such. Our subs played well.
Yeah, they did. They changed that game. And we're kind of made in a good moment in time, a little bit, not too late, but not too early.
Yeah.
Just as we were starting to, But,
and that's the hard part for coach. When do I bring a sub on?
Subs, yeah.
Do I bring them around the 60th, 65th? Is it too early? Do I around the 75th to solidify that back line and
I think it's very
create
easy.
that extra midfield position and stop the players getting through.
And I think it's very easy to go too late in the fact that, because you're sitting there thinking, oh, do I take this person off and I put this player on?
Yeah.
We'll just wait. We'll give it 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
I could make this substitution as well. We'll give her 5 more minutes to see how she's traveling. She looks a little bit tired, but we'll see how she's traveling. Suddenly it's the 80th minute.
Yeah.
And you go, God, I've got to make some subs.
Yeah.
It's very easy to track that because, again, they don't have time to think about absolutely everything. And that's why you got assistants as well. But,
And that was the good thing when I was coaching women's football. It was not subs.
Yeah, it was the interchange. You could
change the whole game all the way from 1 minute to 90 minutes. That was so easy to do. But still, you've got to think of those. You've got to think of how the players playing, how they're performing. Are they doing okay? Do they need a rest?
Yeah.
So there's a lot involved.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. All right. So that's. Well, I think we'll wrap things up here.
Yeah. It was a great performance by both girls in both games. So I thought. A really good performance. It was a great couple of games.
Yeah, 4 points, which is fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's right. 4 points game. We could have lost 6 points, but we didn't. We've got 4 points, which is brilliant.
Yep.
And I think we're doing okay.
I think we're fifth at the moment, which is absolutely awesome.
Is brilliant. The girls are just beyond expectations.
Yeah, amazing. So, like I said, next week we'll have a bit of a review of the season so far. Bit early to do, but it's a good time to do it. It's a bit of a break in the season, so why not?
We might do player by player.
Ooh.
Will you be on the naughty list?
If you're worried about that, send us a message. Not that we're accepting bribes to be put on the nice list like Santa does, but
get some money. We don't mind. I'll put the post box in the link.
Tune in next week for a nice season review as it's happened so far, as it's played out so far. Before we talk about the trip to not the trip to Eastern Suburbs. Eastern Suburbs come to us.
Come to us, yes.
But the season comes around again. The teams start playing each other again. So
it's good.
Thank you very much. Make sure you put comments and into the thing if you have anything else you want us to talk about. But until then,
if if we don't see you till then, have a great Easter.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Easter. Please look after yourself.
Yes, please do. If you're traveling away.
Yeah, if you're traveling away, if you can, maybe sell a house or remortgage the house to buy some deals.
If you got more money than I do if you're traveling away.
Just take it easy.
Yeah.
Okay, have a nice break.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Go Olympic.